Welcome, everyone. This is the MasterClass. My name is Patrick Nazareth. I have around 30 years of experience in teaching, and I would like to help dispel your doubts, should you have any. Today, we will be studying the chapter The Letter, written by Dhumaketu. Dhumaketu was the pen name of Gauri Shankar Govardhan Ram Joshi, born in 1892, died in 1965. He was a Gujarati author who was very much influenced by the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi and the Indian independence movement. What is the meaning of Dhumaketu? It means a comet in Gujarati. He chose the name to reflect his desire to make a decisive impact on the field of literature. He has written over 500 short stories. What do his stories explore? Themes of social justice, suffering, poverty, love, and the struggles of ordinary people. He received the Ranjit Ram Suvarna Chandak Award for his contribution to literature in the year 1955. This is the highest award in Gujarati literature that you can achieve. How does he write? He combines realism with emotional depth and often includes supernatural or spiritual elements. He was a pioneering Gujarati writer, a leading figure in Indian literature. When we see people or we meet people whom we do not know or whose struggles we know nothing about, we must realize that one thing remains common to both of us: humanity and the ability to sympathize with somebody's plight. We meet Coachman Ali. It is early morning, not even 4 o'clock. The stars are still in the sky. The old man walks through the fields. He makes his way through the path through the village. There is hardly any sound. Some dogs bark. People are just about waking up. You can hear some sound coming from the houses, but everything else is still, quiet, silent. It is very cold, and people, as a consequence, are sleeping. But this old man, supporting himself on his staff, walks steadily, walks towards his destination, which is the post office. There he settles down to wait. What is happening in the post office? Letters are being sorted. They are being arranged by name to be sent to the persons that have received them. For example, you can hear Collector Sahib or Diwan Sahib or the librarian or other random names being called out as one person takes the letters out of the bag and gives them to the postmen who are waiting for them. Coachman Ali has come there waiting for a letter. What do we know about Ali? We know that he was a famous hunter. He was a shikari of some note. If he laid eyes on any animal, if he went hunting any animal, that animal was as good as dead should he get his sights on it when he had his gun. But he had changed over the years. Why had that happened? His daughter, Miriam, had married a soldier, left the village and gone away. This was 5 years ago, and since then, he had had no news of her. He lost his love for hunting. When he saw the way partridge babies cried for their parents who had been killed, it no longer made him laugh. It made him understand their suffering, the suffering of children who are missing their parents. And he could relate to that because he himself was missing his daughter. Name after name was being called, and finally he heard his name, Coachman Ali. And he gets up, goes inside asking for his letter. Turned out there was no letter. That person was just making fun of our friend the coachman. It had become a cruel game, calling out his name just to see him go away disappointed after he came into the post office so eagerly. He stayed there the whole day at the post office, seeing people coming and going, peons collecting letters for their employers, discussing scandals. He saw everything, but no letter came for him. The names on the letters were called out one by one until at last all the names had been exhausted, all the letters had been divided. Since there was no letter for him, he got up, saluted the post office, as if it was a temple housing something precious, and he went on his way. Each day in the morning at 4 o'clock he was there. The postmaster is inside the office, and the clerk describes Ali as a madman to him. Because no matter what the weather, each day for the past 5 years, rain or shine, he has been here at 4 o'clock, waiting for a letter that never comes. The conversation changed to madmen that they had known. Obviously, everyone joined in the discussion, each one bringing forward their experiences. Everyone who works generally loves a little break before they get back to their work. After the postmaster left, they started doing their work again. Several days had passed. Ali had not come to the post office. Then one day he was there, but this was a different Ali. You could see that something was wrong. He had trouble breathing. He asked the postmaster, "Do you have a letter for me from my daughter Miriam?" And the postmaster grew angry. "Who are you asking for a letter from your daughter Miriam? Is she so important or are you so important? If a letter comes, obviously we will give it to you. I have not got a letter as yet." He spoke rudely to Ali and then he turned away and went. There was a clerk in the post office. His name was Lakshmi Das. He had come up behind Ali, and Ali went to him because he was a decent person. And he gave him 5 guineas. He gave him 5 gold coins. The clerk obviously was surprised, and Ali told him, "Listen, please keep it because it is of no use to me. I am sure that I am going to die, possibly even today. But if a letter does come from my Miriam, from my daughter, please bring it to my grave." And then he turned and went off. Days passed. No one discussed Ali. Ali was not heard of again. But the postmaster had a daughter himself, and one day she fell ill. The poor man was beside himself. He was worried about his daughter, but there was no news of her. Then he suddenly saw a letter. Could it possibly be one from his daughter? But no, it was actually a letter from Ali's daughter Miriam to him. He then realized how important a letter was. He then realized why Ali used to come early in the morning for a letter. The postmaster understood how much it meant to Ali because he could understand the pain that the old man must be going through. He called Lakshmi Das over. "Isn't this letter meant for Ali?" He said, "Yes. Please find out where he is and let's give it to him tomorrow. Call him over to the post office." The next day he woke up at 3 and reached the post office early. There was a knock. The postmaster gets up. He is so happy that Ali has come to take his letter and he's there to give it to him. He opens the door. The old man is supporting himself on his staff. He hands him the letter. "Ali, your letter has come." Then Ali looks up and the postmaster shrinks back from the light in his eyes. At this moment, Lakshmi Das comes running up. "Sir, did I hear you say something?" And he looks back. Ali has vanished. The letter is on the floor. "Did you find Ali?" the postmaster asks. "Ali has died, sir." The postmaster says, "What?" And another postman comes up and says, "Yes, he died 3 months back." The postmaster could not bring himself to say that he had seen Ali. Had he actually seen Ali? Had he seen his ghost? Was he dreaming? Where was the Ali to whom he had given the letter? He sat down at his desk. He couldn't understand what had happened. The daily routine went on. Police superintendent, librarian, different names being called out. But his mind was still on the letter left on the floor. He called Lakshmi Das over. "Are you sure you were the first person here this morning, Lakshmi Das? Nobody else?" And he said, "No, I was the first person here." That day, you would have seen both the postmaster and Lakshmi Das go to Ali's grave, walk right up and lay the letter on it. From that day onward, the postmaster never treated a letter as something impersonal, as something that held no meaning. Each letter for him became important because each letter was a real thing carrying real emotions for people for whom they were intended. Who are the characters in this story then? Coachman Ali. He's an elderly man, a former hunter, devoted and patient. He loves his daughter Miriam and he waits expectantly for her to write a letter to him. Miriam, Ali's only daughter who has married a soldier and moved to the Punjab. The postmaster, he is indifferent and impatient, but he undergoes a personal transformation when his own daughter falls sick. He experiences guilt and feels bad for the way he had been rude to Ali. Lakshmi Das, a sympathetic clerk who receives 5 gold coins from Ali. Other post office staff who are callous, they are mocking, they make fun of Ali. They call out his name just to play a cruel joke on him. The narrator, who is omniscient, he gives us a commentary on human nature and suffering, a poetic and philosophical person. The place is a small town where our Coachman Ali resides. We see the road, a straight road with trees on one side and public garden on the other. The post office, a newly constructed building which becomes Ali's pilgrimage site. It has a place for him to sit. Ali's grave, where the letter is finally delivered. What time it normally covers? The early hours between 3 to 5 when Ali makes it a point to go to the post office and hear the names of the people who have received the letters. What are the literary devices that are used by the author? Firstly, symbolism. The post office represents hope, connection, and human communication. The stars in the grey sky that Ali sees in the beginning are happy memories that light up his life. Ali's grave as the ultimate destination for us all, and also unfulfilled longing. Similes, for example, the postmaster with a face as sad and as inexpressive as a pumpkin. The coal which uses sleep even as a false friend lulls his chosen victim with caressing smiles. There is foreshadowing. The signs of approaching end on Ali's face. Ali's clear statement, "Today is my last day." The morning star's faint light, suggesting the end of his life. Irony. The letter arrives, but after Ali can no longer read it, he is dead. There is situational irony. The postmaster, who was rude to Ali, who was indifferent to Ali, now realizes the importance of a letter. He experiences the same pain. Ali was a hunter who separated parents from their children by killing birds and animals, now suffers from the same parallel structure. The postmaster's one night of anxiety and Ali's 5 years of suffering. Supernatural element when Ali appears in a ghostly appearance to the postmaster. Metaphor. The post office described as a place of pilgrimage. Letters containing warm beating hearts. Imagery. Vivid description of the dawn, the cold, Ali's separation, Ali's appearance and his emotional state. Personification. Cold extending its sway over all things. Contrast. Ali's past as a skilled hunter versus his present helpless state. The indifference of the clerk versus his participation in taking the letter to Ali's grave. What are the themes in this lesson then? Love and separation. The unbearable pain of being separated from loved ones. Ali's transformation from hunter to sufferer. Empathy and understanding. The postmaster understands compassion only when he goes through the same suffering that Ali did. This is the problem with most of us. We do not understand grief until it touches us personally. Faith and patience. Ali waits 5 years patiently for a letter from his daughter, knowing that one day she will write. The human cost of callousness. The post office staff mock and make fun of Ali. The postmaster is rude to him. This causes unnecessary suffering. Transformation through suffering. The postmaster changes just because he undergoes suffering as well. Parent-child relationship. The strong bond that exists between parents and their children, between fathers and their daughters. Both Ali and the postmaster suffer for their children. Karma or poetic justice. Ali, a good hunter who caused suffering by killing innocent animals, is himself made to suffer as he is separated from his daughter. The postmaster is cruel to Ali and suffers as a consequence himself. Hope against despair. Ali does not lose faith. He does not despair, even when everything seems lost, when logic suggests that it is hopeless to expect something to happen. That's the lesson for you then. I do hope I have been of help. If I have, do remember to like, subscribe and share. There would be others who would be requiring our help. Thank you so much for watching.